Hey guys, today's video we're going to be going over a recap of my 2022 season, and then at the end of the video I've got an awesome hunt with my buddy and I for a late season doe hunt, so be sure to watch to the end, check that out. So getting right into the video, I spent a ton of time summer scouting this year and just going around filming deer all over the area. I had a blast. It ended up as myself and my buddies found some really good bucks to go after. And at the beginning of the season, I ended up filming my buddy for probably about the first half of the season, trying to kill a couple giants that he was after. We didn't have any luck there. Then I had a little bad luck where I actually broke my main camera that I self-film with, and I had to use my mirrorless camera, which if anybody has used a mirrorless camera before when you're self-filming, you know it's a pain in the butt. Anyway, I made the best of it. I had a really cool hunt with a buck where I got in, found some sign, moved through the area kind of like I figured how a buck was going to come out to the field. So I basically just started at the field and backtracked my way in and ended up setting right up over one of his beds, hoping that he was right in the area close by.
I walked in here following elevation line that I figured bucks would be cruising through this property at. Kind of funnel along the tops of ditches in between these real steep parts of the ditches and the fields. And also kind of staying just inside the real thick cover that's on the tops of these knobs.
And sure enough, he came about 60 yards. He wouldn't get any closer. I definitely would have shot him. And then the next day after that hunt, I packed up and went to North Dakota to an area that I had been to a few years before. It was one of my favorite places I'd ever been deer hunting, and I always wanted to get back there, so I decided the heck with it. I want to go do that. Camera was still broke, and so I ended up seeing a really big buck that I was going after. I saw him like 4 nights in a row, and every night I couldn't quite get the camera on him, and I was really just trying to kill him. And you know, if I had some GoPro angle when I was shooting or the camera off to the side and I would just shoot and whip it around quick, that was good enough for me. I got on him 4 nights in a row. It was the last 4 nights I was there, and the first 3 nights he picked a different trail each night that he came down. So I'd get set up on one with the wind in my favor, he'd come down another one like 80 yards away, and there's no trees in the whole area, so it was a pain in the butt trying to self-film off the ground in these little makeshift brush blinds that I was building. And then on the last night, he was finally coming my way, and I had the camera in front to where I thought my first shot opportunity was gonna be, and he was coming down, and then all of a sudden these 2 white dogs came from the neighboring farm and spooked him, and he ran back where he came from. And lo and behold, I was there hunting him, saw him 4 times and never once got an ounce of footage of him. But anyway, I got back here. I had a crazy hunt where I had a hot doe come crashing down the hill with a bunch of bucks behind her. Broken up buck that we had seen out at this property that we were hunting another big one on. Pinned her into this frozen pond and was fighting off other little bucks around him.
That was crazy. I got my blood pumping a lot. All of a sudden I heard crash, and I heard a grunt and another grunt, and grabbed my bow and turned around. The bigger buck was chasing that doe straight down into this pond, and the pond's completely iced over, and they went crashing through all the ice. And I dropped down, and then once I realized I didn't want to shoot them, I was trying to get the camera out, and they came like 10 yards screaming right past me.
Another decent like 2-year-old buck came down that I probably should have shot and definitely could have shot, but I just had the camera in my hand, and for whatever reason, just like I said, I was gaming after a big buck this year and just felt like filming him. I had that hunt, and then I had a really slow gun season. It was actually the worst gun season we've ever had for my family. Where I'm at, you can hunt until the end of January. So I really was honing in on deer moving, late season food sources. And what ended up happening is deer in my area, because of the bumper crop of acorns that we had, were just hammering all where the red oaks dropped all season. They were going through the snow and digging them up, and that's where I had most of the success getting on deer late season. I had a really cool hunt where I should have killed a buck. Probably if I wasn't trying to sell film, I would have killed him, but.
It's a freaking hammer of a track. All these trails, all these tracks coming from right there, and those evergreens are way up on top up there. So I think they're coming down, kind of hitting this, following this big ditch system down, and then crossing, and then there's the big ag fields up there. If you can see, I don't know if you can see, but all through up into here, really high stem count area. And then on the ground too, they've been digging, probably looking for acorns through this fresh snow and a fresh rub. You know it's fresh because all the shavings of it are laying on the snow. Got myself set up right in this big split here, trying to get some cover for my silhouette. There's a ton of deer digging all around right here in front of the stand. And there's trails that are coming out of that high density stem count stuff down right here. There's an old logging road that they're coming out of, and there's a bunch of digging up over there too. There's a fresh rub right here with bark on top of the snow, and then the one that I found earlier was up there. So my wind, for the most part, is blowing down, wrapping around the backside of this knob and down towards the main valley. I think one thing that's super crucial, a lot of people forget about, is take the tail end of your strap and wrap it down in behind your stick. See, like this one here, the wind picks up and it starts doing this crap. You get picked off a lot by deer doing that. So
him and another small buck came from behind me, and we're walking right at the base of my tree, and at the last second they kind of picked if they wanted to go left or right. I thought they were going to go left, and I was getting the camera around, and they ended up going to my right, and it was just a fiasco in the tree. The little buck picked me off. They stood there for a little bit, and then they took off where they had come from. But late season, I'd put a bunch of cameras in spots that were easy to check, you know, after work, and I would go after supper, check them all after dark, and then come home, and on my way home from doing that, I about hit a really nice buck in the middle of the road right next to my family property. So the next night I went in there, saw a crazy amount of deer. Nothing got close enough for me to get a shot, and it was actually so cold, I think I was very, very close to having hypothermia. I had to bark at them like a coyote to get them to leave the food plot so I could get down. I didn't want to educate them to some of the people being there. So. Whoa! One of the coolest parts of the season is I made a new friend during hunting season this year. Bumped into him on public land. He's an awesome guy, probably one of the best hunters I've ever met. He's a crazy good coyote trapper, and you guys are going to see some of that coming up soon. But anyway, we'll get right into Derek's hunt here. and then I'll catch you guys here in a little bit.
Get my little tree out of the way. So I'm very excited today to go hunt with my buddy Derek. Derek was a couple years older than me in school. We both graduated from the same high school, and then actually we both went to the same natural resources college together. He actually does a lot of land management for hunting properties, kind of as a side gig, cuts firewood. The guy does a lot, and he is a hell of an outdoorsman. He's a great fisherman. He's always fishing, ice fishing. He's shooting ducks. He seems to always get a nice buck every year. So the guy can do it all. He texted me yesterday, asked if I wanted to go with, and I said, heck yeah. So we are on our way to hopefully put some meat in the freezer. It'll be a great way to end 2022 on a high note.
No access is ever going to be perfect. But
No. I think too a lot of bucks bed watching where they know people access.
For sure.
Like they'll go out of their way just to watch you wherever access.
So,
is.
like, I guarantee you there's probably a buck somewhere that watched just ride that four-wheeler in here.
100%. And a lot of times they won't. Like they'll just wait for you to get by, and then they may stand up and move, or they might just.
There's been different times, like, where I said, hey, a lot of times we'll see deer in here and this and that, and I'll drive by, and there'll be a couple of them standing, a bunch of them bedded. They'll just watch you go by, and they don't even move.
Mm-hmm.
But they still know that you did that, so they're probably not going to come out here in the daylight after that.
Right.
They're not going to run off, but...
Right.
That one in the middle there, that's a big doe, I think, isn't it? It looks like it might not have any fawns. Yeah.
There's two down on the bottom too. There's a big one in there.
Yeah, there's a big one all the way down there. Then there's a bunch of deer that are in the grass there. You can see their heads in here.
Yep. Yeah, that one in the middle looks like a pretty good sized one.
Don't do that. Are you kidding me? What the hell? It's still running.
Little nubbin buck probably. That one on the left is a pretty big doe.
Yeah. Holy smokes. I don't think I've ever seen her run around so much like that.
That's pretty wild. was hit pretty hard. Yeah. That fawn's like, what the hell's going on? Yeah. There's quite a few deer there. She kicked like a mofo. I think she should be not too far away. I don't think we'll wait very long, just in case. Yeah. Just shoot her again or something, then I can get a bit of a recovery in daylight. Then I will just go right away. Tell the viewers about your predicament.
Yeah, I'm a bit color deficient. I have a pretty hard time seeing blood. I do see it right there, I guess, a little bit.
Yeah.
That's not as
Right there and then
not
there.
as much as I was hoping.
She's spraying pretty good though.
I think we should make a good shot. That I can follow when it's on. It's not spraying real hard right now, though.
No. I feel like she's gonna be just inside the woods though.
I think it's just coagulate. Oh, what the hell? It's a big chunk of meat.
Yeah.
No, isn't that a piece of heart?
Is that heart or is that
That's gotta be heart, dude.
is that liver?
Maybe it's liver.
I mean the blood's pretty dark for it to be heart,
It
wouldn't
could
you
be
think?
liver. Maybe so. How did she go so far?
Pretty good shot.
Yeah, I don't know. I was a little bit nervous there for a minute, I'm not gonna lie. Alright, good deal.
Well, heck yeah.
So thank you guys for watching. We're gonna have some really cool trapping content coming soon, and have fun, you guys, doing whatever's in season. And hopefully here soon we'll be killing some gobblers for you.